Alright, there's something on the docket today. We're going to use Extended Basic to merge two programs together. This is a pretty common function. Can be used if you write subroutines, or if you want to call up a certain tune in multiple programs, or multiple sections of programs, so on and so forth. Takes a little bit of thinking, but it's really not that big a deal. And we're going to do a very simple merge today. It's probably the easiest merge you can do between two programs. So we'll select 2 for TI Extended Basic. Alright, pulls up my ready screen here in just a second. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to show you each program independently of one another by themselves at first, so that you can see what they do. And then I'll show you how to merge them. So let's call this one up first. Okay, this is Repto Slicer, the character that I'm creating. We're going to call him up. You can view a more detailed description of him in Video Game Characters Part 1, I think, of the it's in my list of videos. Let's call this up. It's going to load the program. Okay. Let's run this thing. See what it looks like. It's going to call the screen black, and then it's going to show my character in green. Okay. And you can get a much more detailed glimpse of him if you check out the Video Game Characters Part 1. That's pretty much him. He's not finished yet, obviously. We're still working on him. Anyway, and it just stays there. So what I want to do, here's the second program we're going to use. Now, just so you know, I did not design these two programs to go together. We're gonna do them that way. Here's what happens when I run disk1.tone. Alright, it keeps doing that until I break out of it, okay? So that's the music that we're going to put in. What I want to do is, after the screen turns black and draws the character, I'm going to have it play that music. So here's what we do. Okay, here's the list. Okay, and as you can see, there's a lot of call sounds in there, and you can look up to see the format of that in your user reference guide or your Extended Basic manual. But there's a few things we're going to need to get rid of, because we're not looking to integrate this entire program. We don't want a pink screen. We don't want it to print this is a new song. We don't want it to go on forever. Let's see what we need to get rid of. Okay, we want to keep the dragon on the screen. Sorry. We want to keep Repto Slicer on the screen, so you see where it says line 100, call clear. That's going to clear the screen. We don't want it to do that. We don't want it to call the screen before it plays music, because then it won't be showing the dragon. So we'll hit 100 and erase it. Okay, 110 is call screen 14. We want the screen to stay black instead of go pink, so we're going to get rid of that. 120, print this is a new song. We don't need that. 130 is the beginning of my for next statement, so I need to have that because that defines my sound. Alright, now let's list the whole program. There's still a couple modifications I need to make first. Okay, at the end, 250 go to 130. We don't want it to do that. We're going to erase 250. Okay, now let's say we wanted to play this group of sounds twice. Okay? What that means is we need to incorporate another for next statement into the program. Okay, we already have a for I equals 1 to 3, but what that does, since the next I is right after that call, it means that it's going to repeat that sound 3 times. So to loop this whole thing, we need to go in before 130. Let's go in at 120 for X equals 1 to 2. And what that's going to do is it's going to define how many times it's going to go. And then at the end of my entire program, after 240, I'm going to do 250, next x. Since 120 is 4x equals 1 to 2, 250 will be the end of that loop. So it'll loop it twice and then end. So what I want to do now, since we're going to be putting it into another program and I don't want to replace a bunch of lines on accident, I'm going to resequence this program to a ridiculously high number. Start at 2000 and go increments of 10. So it's resequencing the program. There you go, 2000, 2010, 2020. And then there's I have two 4 next loops. I have the X over top of everything, and then the enclosed, embedded 4 next loop of I to control that particular sound. So now it's in a high number. It's in a high number of line numbers. So there's no way that it'll interact with my other program. So here's what I want to do. Now that we have this where we want it, here's how you save it to merge. Save disk 1, and this was called tone, so we're going to call it tone mod. Okay, then what you have to do if you're going to save it to be merged is you have to, after your quotations, hit comma, merge. That'll save the disk. That'll save the program onto disk. Okay, now it's saved. So what we can do then is we can go into our Repto Slicer program, merge the programs, and then all we'll have to do is add a go sub and a return function on 2 different line numbers, and that will inevitably give us our perfect program. So when you come back, we'll do it. See you in a minute.